Hello there. Remainer MPs are now no longer content to give Boris Johnson any negotiating space. They do not want to wait until the 19th of October to force him to go to Brussels in accordance with the Benn Surrender Act and beg for an extension. No, they want that extension now. Leaders of Westminster opposition parties are meeting today to thrash out a plan to take control of the House of Commons order paper once again, while the Tories are at their conference, to then bring about a change in the law that would force Boris Johnson to send an Article 50 extension request letter to Brussels as soon as possible. And according to a Telegraph report, the aim is to bring forward the date from the 19th of October to this coming Saturday, the 5th of October. This would also completely disrupt the Tory party conference, as MPs would have to rush back to Westminster once the relevant motion was tabled. And it may also now include a new twist, to give the Speaker of the House of Commons, John Bercow, what could amount to the prime ministerial power to negotiate foreign affairs on behalf of the UK by empowering Bercow to send the letter if the Prime Minister refuses to do so. And that might also include the power to appoint a UK commissioner to the EU for any Article 50 extension after the 1st of November, because Brussels has made it clear that without its own commissioner, the UK cannot legally remain inside the European Union. So Parliament is now, it seems, plotting on taking over as the government, with John Bercow being given full executive powers to run the country and its affairs where Article 50 is concerned. And I reckon Bercow would smile smugly and assume a sort of fake humility, saying that, unlike the Prime Minister, he will do as instructed by Parliament. All because Remainer MPs cannot go down the correct constitutional route, as they know firstly that they can't agree between themselves on a strategy for tabling a motion of no confidence in the government, and secondly because of their internal squabbles and the fact their views are diametrically opposed to the will of the electorate. They have used every weak excuse under the sun to shy away from a general election. And now it's too late for them to have one prior to the current Brexit Day date anyway. Now I wonder what would happen if Boris did send the Article 50 extension letter with a covering letter explaining it was definitely not government policy, and then sign the extension request letter preceding his signature with the Latin phrase vae coactus, meaning under duress, because in my view that is what is being applied here. Probably wouldn't fly legally, but just a thought. But here is a bigger thought. As I explained in an earlier video, the recent Supreme Court judgment, although it found against the Prime Minister on prorogation, it did say that under the UK Constitution, the government runs the country as the executive. At paragraph 55, its actual words were, "Remembering always that the actual task of governing is for the executive and not for Parliament or the courts." So the Supreme Court has reiterated that under the UK Constitution, the government is the one that conducts such things as foreign affairs. Therefore, neither the Benn Surrender Act nor the Supreme Court ruling affect the UK Constitution. But of course, Remainers would say that doesn't matter, as there is now a statute in the form of the Benn Surrender Act that tells Boris exactly what to do. But that would be forgetting EU law on this matter, law that everyone agrees takes precedent over UK law. And to establish that point, I'll read out what Article 50 paragraph 1 itself says on the Article 50 process. Any member state may decide to withdraw from the Union in accordance with its own constitutional requirements. That suggests strongly to me that only the UK government can properly ask for an extension, something that the Benn Act is completely at odds with. And it may be for this reason that BuzzFeed reported a couple of days ago that Berlin officials said, In addition to requiring a clear electoral purpose, the officials stressed that the request for an extension would need to come from the UK government. The plot thickens. Anyway, here is a letter to the Telegraph from a retired judge, His Honour David Higgins, about the recent Supreme Court decision on the Boris prorogation case. Sir, as a retired member of the judiciary, I may speak freely. The Supreme Court judgment has brought us all into disrepute. It does so because it has presented as law that which is plainly ideology. This conclusion is ineluctable, given that the court has been forced to invent a reasonableness test against which it can appear legitimately to assess the government's behaviour, and thereby arrogate to itself the royal prerogative. It needed to do so in order to achieve its objective, and also had to overcome the judgment of the Divisional Court, the members of which could not have been more distinguished. In my respectful view, the Divisional Court's judgment is impeccable and remains a true statement of the law. The establishment is getting the UK into a constitutional pickle while trying to bash the square peg of the UK into the round hole of the European Union, isn't it? Anyway, what do you think? Please share and comment, and thank you for watching. Please do like and share this video, and also subscribe to my channel. And when subscribing, please do remember to press on the little bell next to the subscribe button. That way you'll get an alert every single time I put up a new video. And thank you very much for watching.